think I sell it.
Oh, I guess we'll send it to the...
So Jim got everybody's juices flowing on social and search and SEO. We'll keep it going now. If you weren't here yesterday, just a quick introduction. I'm Nathan Ritchie within our creative group, past president of Social Media Charlotte, and I do a podcast here in town with a couple of other guys that you may know. Scott Hepburn, who is the president of Social Media Club, and also Brandon Uttley. Over the years, Brandon's been a great mentor. I've done some business with him, and lately he's just been a great friend. He's up next to talk to you about the newest challenger to SEO. It's called Discovery. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Brandon Uttley. Brian Chappelle and Joe Hall will then follow, and then they'll have a mass question and answer session right over here on the table. Give it up for Brandon Uttley.
Nathan, you complete me.
Do your Maury Smith, quick.
Hello, I'm Maury Smith, and we're going to talk about Facebook today, marketing on the web. It's exciting. There's 800 million people on Facebook alone. All right, you want any more? Yes. All right. Where's Jim? He was great this morning. So I've got a lot of good stuff to follow. We're going to talk today about this new thing called social discovery. What the heck is that? We're going to talk about what it is and, why does it matter? And most importantly, how do we take advantage of it? So let's just jump right in. What is social discovery? I guess about a month or so ago, I was reading a magazine, and I wish I had saved this article. It was Fast Company or Entrepreneur, one of these, and there was an article that mentioned this phrase, social discovery. How it was going to be this amazing thing that would allow us to use these social networks to discover stuff. What our friends are doing or thinking about or reading or whatever. And I remember thinking, and so did this author, boy, this sounds like a great concept, but it's really not quite there. And in fact, and then I subsequently read a quote from the CEO of Tagged who said, yeah, we're not really there. We're like at 2004 where it comes to social discovery. In other words, using these different social tools to enable the sharing of content, and then conversely, the ability for all the rest of us to see what's being shared and go, oh, cool, look at something I didn't know about that I'm now discovering, okay? So that was 3 weeks ago. Bam. How many people heard about F8? Jim talked about it. Facebook introduced, basically they're going to redo the platform as they tend to do every 3 or 4 weeks, it seems like. But they are now introducing this, they're bringing this social discovery concept to life with their timeline, the new ticker that's now displaying all updates, as well as the regular updates, and many more things to come. So basically, we have liftoff now. Now we can see social discovery has some legs to it. Now, where is this going to take us? Well, what Facebook is already saying is that it's not just about that like button anymore. That thing, yes, it was ubiquitous, and as Jim talked about, the fact that it's on all these websites is driving traffic, and it has been great for the past year or so. But now we're going to be into a whole new realm where all the various activities that people are up to are going to be Facebook enabled. Somebody else wrote recently that that like button was a blunt instrument. That's basically all we had. So like cave people, we were just going around like it. You couldn't even dislike it. But now, with Open Graph, they're taking it to a whole new level. Last year, they allowed different websites to integrate Facebook and the like button and the login and stuff on websites. Now, that's so passé, because you're going to be able to Facebookitize pretty much any verb you can think of. So now, action and consumption are going to be the new norms, and Facebook is driving this. Zuckerberg himself called it real-time serendipity. What does that mean? That's a big word for a young man. But serendipity is the occurrence of events, the development of events by chance in a happy or beneficial way. that does not fit well with the typical SEO's mentality. Chance? What? Chance is BS. And as you know, it doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen on the web. People don't just randomly find out about something. There has to be some content out there. So your new challenge is going to be that content has to become much more relevant. We already know that there have been problems with Facebook's edge rank and pages, people putting out content through their page and no one's liking it, no one's commenting on it. It's been tough, and now it's going to be even tougher. But we do have a new Open Graph coming that's now in beta that is going to, again, take it to a new level altogether. So in addition to being able to take a third-party website and connect it up to Facebook, you'll be able to include arbitrary actions or objects, things that people are listening to, watching, reading, cooking, etc. And all of this is just going to really make that social layer of the web much more engaging and intriguing. Kind of boils down to this. If you have any kind of affinity or shared interest that allows you to connect with somebody in the first place, that's a great first step. But then the ability to share and intertwine all that is going to make the social discovery movement just kind of explode. They put it in a different frame altogether, particularly with Timeline, where they started talking about this concept of live streaming. And if you saw the F8, you realize that they were collecting all that stuff back to when you joined Facebook all the way to the present day. And it gets even better because they said, you can backtrack in time to the day you were born if you want to, and put in baby pictures and whatever, and basically it's like a digital scrapbook. And I know for me personally, for one example, I've never really used Facebook Places to check in. How many people use Foursquare to check into places, for example? Maybe a handful. What about Facebook Places? Like, same thing. Well, I didn't, because sometimes I just didn't necessarily want people to know where I was, or I thought, who cares where I am? But now, because you can go back in your timeline, it will trigger memories, and it will allow you to kind of fill in the gaps and say, oh yeah, I remember when I went to that restaurant, I was with somebody I knew, Nathan, we were grabbing a coffee, I was after a meeting, and you can backfill it with your memory, or the more stuff you put in, the more you can get out in terms of being able to collect up not only your life, but then how that's related to other people in your life, etc. So when they announced all this stuff, showed some examples of what's coming and what's happening. Some of the better ones were Nike, with the Nike Plus running application, where you have a little device in your shoe and it ties to your smartphone, and then you can share your run information. Now with this new timeline and with the new ticker, if you authorize these various applications, then it's going to be telling people, I just ran this route, I just did whatever. New apps are coming out constantly for people to share what they are doing fashion-wise, for example, or stuff they're buying for their houses, things they like, whether it's books, magazines, movies, etc. One of my favorites also is Spotify. How many people have gotten on the Spotify bandwagon? Awesome app, free, but it allows you to share your music. And so they were one of the first partners that allows this to happen. And I know, I've seen it now with the ticker. I mean, Nathan and I were talking about it. The first couple of days that came out, we were saying, that's so annoying. But for some reason, our eye keeps getting drawn to that, which I think is the point. And you're seeing all these updates. Joe just listened to some song on Spotify. Really? I've never heard that band. I'm going to click on that and see what that's all about. And that's exactly what Spotify, Nike, and all these other consumer companies are going to be scrambling to figure out. And the CEO of Spotify said during that summit that people discover music through their friends, and that means that they're more social. And because they're more social, they're twice as likely to pay for music. Now, as somebody who hasn't paid for music in a long time, I kind of question that whole thing there. Although, I will say people like Spotify are making it easier. Okay, for $10 a month, I don't have to physically buy the MP3s, but I can buy kind of unlimited. As many as I want to sync up to my iPod or whatever, or my iPhone. But they said social discovery, it means we're bringing people back to paying for music. Whether that really happens remains to be seen, but we will definitely see a whole lot more sharing in general. The Facebook platform director for the Europe, Middle East, and Africa said that sharing with your friends creates an amplification. And when more of your friends see it and they click on a link back to a website, that's what creates value for that media company. Just as Jim was saying, you're using Facebook in this case to drive more traffic back someplace else. So again, they all are betting the farm on this huge increase in sharing. Now part of you, which is skeptical like me, is going to say, yeah, but a lot of my friends have the taste of an idiot when it comes to whatever. I don't like their music. I don't like the shows this person watches. I don't like the clothes they wear. I don't like the stuff they buy, vote for, etc. But that's what friends are for, right? So a lot of me is a skeptic when it comes to this stuff. Just because we're all going to share the heck out of more stuff doesn't mean that just because you share it and you're my friend, that I'm going to run out and buy the same thing. However, will it make me think about things that I might not have thought about? Absolutely. Again, that serendipity effect, just by chance. But again, it's content and opportunity equals chance. You got to be putting out the content for people to see it in the first place. What Facebook has said off the bat is they're considering sort of 4 major buckets of where they're going to allow apps to fit in: communication, games, media, and lifestyle. Those are very broad strokes, but I've attempted to put some stuff in those various categories. So how many people play Angry Birds like 4 times every 2 hours? You know, I'm playing Angry Birds. You know, you probably wouldn't want to share that app with your Facebook stream, but you might. Or if you're into World of Warcraft or whatever else. But really cool stuff like Netflix, you know, for the 4 people in the room that didn't cancel when they jacked the rates through the roof, you'll be able to say, I'm watching, you know, Bridesmaids or whatever, which, by the way, that's funny as hell. If you haven't seen it. There's a sharing discovery for you if you haven't seen that movie. But again, music, photos, activities, people that are into food, whatever. You're going to have to think differently about